Hi, everybody. It is time for another edition of Skip Happens. That's what it's all about. My name's Skip Clark, and there she is, Miss Rea.
Hi, everyone. What's going on?
Here we are. Yeah, not much. It's good to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you, too.
We had to
It's good
take,
be back.
good to be back because you're back in the pod zone,
Yes.
and we had to take it like a week off because, you know, here in the Northeast with the weather, it just, and you really live in the snow country. So,
Yes. Yeah. So last week we got hit. There was some snow on the ground, so we weren't able to make it. So I'm super happy to be back in studio this week.
Wasn't like, was it real? It was real cold, right? Was it?
It
last
was really
week?
cold.
Because-
it was really slippery, and it just, I don't know. It just
Yeah, it was
wasn't.
it's what, you know, if you're in this part of the country in the Northeast, it's what we call lake effect. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. You can Wikipedia it.
Yeah.
You can Google it and find out what lake effect's all about. But it was also cold in Florida. I know I have friends that watch the podcast down in the Tampa area, and they said it was like 30 degrees.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So those that wanted to get away for a few days to get out of the cold, they flew into the cold.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
you know, stayed for a couple of days and they came back. So, yeah, that's all. So, what's going on? It's so good to see you. And here we are. And, you know, a lot of wisdom in this room. You and I,
I'm not sure.
No, we sit in the radio station. You know, we both do our thing. And you walk into the studio and we have these pretty hefty conversations. I would say.
Absolutely. So
and we go deep.
yeah, even though we both are very career driven, you and I definitely tend to have philosophical conversations during work, which is nice. It's good to kind of bounce off of another person, kind of hear what's going on with your coworkers, but also if you have something that you're thinking about, it's good to kind of get a second opinion or even just tell another person who understands what the heck is going on, especially.
But do we really understand? I mean, we say this every week, and this is why this works so well, is I am where I am in my life. And young lady, you are exactly that, a young lady, and just starting out. So,
Right.
And really smart, fresh out of college and doing your own thing. And God, if I was your age again,
what would you do?
what would I do? I don't know.
Especially and if you would be 21 again, which
All right.
is how old I am.
Okay.
Would you want to be 21 back in your day, or would you want to be 21 like today?
Wow. I don't know.
Good question,
That's a
right?
really good question. I don't know how I would answer that. Because being 21 in my day, I mean, it was, we were having a lot of fun. It was
wild.
It was wild. It was wild. And it was crazy. But I guess being 21 nowadays for you could be
Yes.
wild
It can
and crazy.
be, yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But
sure.
we got away with a lot more back then. I mean, we could, just do so much. And nowadays, things have really changed. I mean, we used to go to the bars. I mean, I don't, please don't. But, leaving the bar, I mean, we had a lot to drink and we still drove home. And sometimes you'd wake up and wonder how you even got there.
And now you can't even finish a drink and get pulled over and get away with it.
Yeah, now.
It's
Exactly.
in New York State.
Yeah, I think they also a new point system just went into effect. So here in New York, one DWI, you could lose your license. It's not just a fine and whatever. I mean, your license is done. So it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not crazy. It's probably a good thing. It saves lives. So,
but one mistake can definitely alter the rest of your life. So being mindful, being cautious while out on the road. Yeah,
it's all about wisdom. Being smart.
Absolutely. Being smart.
Yeah. So what is wisdom?
That's a good question. I think it's an amount of knowledge. It's amount of understanding. But I think that not everybody can have wisdom. I think it's kind of allowing yourself to grow and take in different perspectives. That's kind of my understanding. But how about you? What do you think wisdom is?
Wisdom, it's experience. It's learning. It's a lot of wins and a lot of losses. I mean, that's how you gain wisdom. I think that's what I believe in. Like I said, there's a big difference here between you and I.
Right.
So,
and you said in wins and losses. And one thing that I find very interesting as a young lady is that there's people that are older than me that sometimes make mistakes, and they choose to either change the pattern of actions and they evolve and they grow, or sometimes they do the opposite. So I think that gaining wisdom is a really interesting concept, because I think you have to allow yourself as an individual to become vulnerable and open-minded in order to gain
Would you say
good wisdom.
Ask yourself what really matters?
I'm going to be on. That's a hard question, because what really matters? You know what I mean? And I think what really matters changes all the time, I think it even can stem from, are you a materialistic person? Are you somebody that needs something in your hand or to see? Are you someone that needs to feel something? Are you, there's a lot of different ways to get what you need and to understand what matters.
Yeah, pain. Pain accelerates wisdom only if you reflect, not if you just endure it. When you think back about whatever happened that caused you pain, that's going to make a difference in your wisdom as you think ahead. It's like you don't want to go back there.
It's kind of like the saying maybe that you have to hit rock bottoms to go up, Sometimes you have to endure pain or endure that low point in order to go back up. Or to even have that courage to change your actions and want to be different. What
about listening more than talking? Think about that.
That's very interesting. I also think it's interesting because I see Grace Sessler in the comments, and I want to give her a huge shout out for what I'm about to say next.
Hang on.
Grace.
That's for Grace, everybody. That's for Grace. Yes.
So her and I, we went to an amazing podcast a couple weekends ago.
Tell us about it.
And it was phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal. It was a great experience. But we were also getting very philosophical, very deep talks on the way home. It may have been the sleep deprivation, but it doesn't matter. We were just two girls that were just cruising, vibing. So we're talking about all this philosophical stuff. And she's like, Reagan, you got to read these books. You got to read. Okay. I think it's called The 4 Principles. Grace, put it in the comments, girl. I know you got me. So it's called The 4 Principles. And basically the first principle is understanding that your word holds power.
Okay.
And what you say holds power.
Okay.
So I think that kind of ties into how, because sometimes people just say things to say things, or they might be reactive or emotional versus logical. So it's
Is that like speaking before thinking?
Absolutely.
We talked about that today.
The 4 agreements. Thank you. Not the 4 principles.
There you go. I see it now. Yeah.
By Don Miguel Ruiz. Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you, Miss Grace. I started reading that, but it's kind of understanding that sometimes people say things, like I said, reactively out of emotion, or they say it logically because they're intentionally meaning it. But it's understanding that your word holds power and other people's do as well.
So listening more than talking.
Right.
And,
but when listening, how can you really trust what you're listening, and how can you pick and choose? And do you have to be wise in order to?
No, I think listening is going to help you get wiser. You ask better questions. That's one thing. And then you sit with silence. And you learn from people who disagree with them. You do. How often do we learn from somebody? It's okay to disagree, but you learn something from that. So
right.
It all goes towards wisdom.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
I'm reading some of the comments there. There you go. Oh, Jason Krantz, by the way, he got the mug. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, John Williard. Miss Rea is going to attend CRS next month.
I won't be there, John.
Oh man,
but
we
Shout
out
have been
to John.
Talking. Maybe a future
country
event. Music event.
Yep.
Miss Rea might make an appearance. I don't know.
I love it. Do you accept, let's go back to wisdom. How about accepting trade-offs? How about going down that road? Immature thinking looks perfect for outcomes. Wise thinking understands. I saw some notes here. So I think that's how true is that, Every choice costs something, good or bad.
That's true.
Think about that.
And it's better to live with no regrets. I think that's what everybody says, and I firmly believe that you should live with no regrets.
Yeah,
So,
and what downside can you live with? If
right. I mean, what's the advantage of not trying anything, or not experiencing it while you can? I think that's where that regret comes into play.
well, what about let me ask you this: responsibility. That plays a big role. I mean, that's all part of the puzzle when it comes to
Gaining,
wisdom.
right.
Yeah. You own your outcomes. You stop blaming luck, people, or systems. How often do we do? I think we all do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do that. It's like, wow. Yeah.
I think there's also a lot of trust built within wisdom.
Think so?
Trust. I do. I think trust of knowledge for that individual, but I think that people that are wise they're people that other people gravitate towards. You know what I mean? I mean, who would not want to be around somebody that's wise? So you trust yourself to accept the knowledge that you get, but you're also like having other people trust you with your knowledge and your insight, which is a really cool concept.
How do you think wisdom shows up? So what do you think it does? Because, I mean, there's slower reactions, fewer words, better timing.
Yeah.
They may all go, this guy's got some good wisdom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the good timing, kind of going back to the 4 agreements, and being intentional with what you say and knowing that your word holds power, like speaking before you, thinking before you speak, I think is very important. That's something that I'm working on personally. It's not that I necessarily live with a lot of like regrets and things that I say. It's just that I want people to appreciate what I say more, and I want people to be like, "Wow, what's she saying?"
How do you feel when you think, all right, nobody's listening to you, or you're saying something that means
that's
a lot?
A pet peeve. That's a pet peeve.
But seriously,
because
it kills me.
It absolutely drives me insane, and I think it's because I'm somebody that does listen to people. I think it's very important to take that second to listen to people. So when it's not reciprocated, it's very frustrating for me. But one saying that I really hold very dear to my heart is that you can't expect yourself out of other people. So even though I might be somebody that's going to sit there and listen to what you're saying, another person might not do that, and that's okay. Like that's fine. But I'm not going to let that impact me or take that personally, because that's not on me. That's on that individual and how they handle themselves.
I think we go through that every day. I do. There's some point in your day that they're listening, but they're not listening. And then how does that make you feel at the end of the day? What do you ask yourself? What did I learn today? What surprised me? What would I do differently next time?
I don't know. I'd rather sit there and think like, did somebody listen, than have someone sit there and say something that makes me think like, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather.
So I know this kind of rolls into something a little bit different here, but how do you feel when somebody criticizes you? When somebody's got something, does it bother you? And if it does, how do you get over that?
There was
We're
a
going
lesson
deep tonight.
That's a great question. And I think it really, when I was in college, I had a professor who I was a photo minor, and I was in class, and I remember she like tore my artwork apart. She was like, Reagan, you could have done this better, like this, the lighting, all this other stuff. And I was upset, which is granted, you know what I mean?
Did you tell her to do it herself?
No, but I also thought like
No,
I kind of was sassy about it, because I was like, she didn't do that to anybody else. Like, why is she making comments to me, And I had 2 choices there, and I was like, I can really let this impact me and just drop this minor and just call it quits. Or I can say, that person criticizing me is because they care about me. And it's because they want to see me be a better individual in the headspace. And was like,
yeah, that's okay.
The second I stepped into that headspace and was like, she's genuinely trying to make me better, is when I started to accept criticism better. And I think like the other day at work, we had an interview, and you criticized me. You, in a good way, in a great way. You were like,
I'm going,
I think it was like something with timing. Oh, it was, during the interview, I kept saying, oh, I love that. I love that. And I took that as kind of a constructive criticism where I was like, I was kind of embarrassed. I was kind of like, I wish I did better. And then I sat with it for a few hours. Like I went home and I sat with it and I was like,
I feel terrible.
No, because I was like, he wants me to be better. He's not saying that to anybody else to be better. He's saying it to me because he cares about me and he knows that I want to be better. And if he didn't care about that, then he would have just let me sit there and continue to say, I love it. You know what I mean? But instead you were like, Reagan, like you're not. And the way that you said it as well was like, you did great. You did phenomenal. But you're like, we got to think of some other ways to say that. Which is true. Great. It's completely true.
I mean, that's the way I was. That's the way I was taught.
I think it was my own insecurities and that I think plays into how we interact with people and stuff like that and how we understand people. It's my own personal, it's my own headspace.
Right,
I was kind of with myself and I was like, I'm not proud of that. So I wasn't very happy with the criticism that you also saw that. But like I said, if you didn't make that criticism,
no, I mean, my goal is to make you the best you can be.
Absolutely.
And there's, and I would expect that if you were to tell me something, I mean, like say we have this little difference between us, but I would expect that. And I would sit back and think about it and go, okay, yeah, she's right. This is what I need to do. Jeff Galco says, 8th grade, Mr. Bishop ripped me apart in front of the class for my science project. Had such a big impact on me. I had a fear of public speaking or presenting till my senior year of college. He goes, damn you, Mr. Bishop. But no, he's right. And Jeff is, he's in Nashville. He's all over the place. He's a great publicist. He does a lot. He's worked for the government. He worked in the White House.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, just to let you know, Jeff, part of the White House is missing. Just saying. They ripped down whatever wing that was. So anyways, no, go ahead. I don't mean to go off subject because when we get the critique, I'll get yelled at.
Oh my gosh.
Then I'll pout. Then I'll pout. But yeah, I mean, it's, just good stuff. It's all about wisdom. It's all about, getting advice and how do you handle it. And you got to understand that more than likely, more times than not, it's to make you better.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only thing that will hold you back from being better is yourself. If you.
Bam.
Yeah. Nobody's going to stop you. And I think a lot of people also live with fear, and that's something that we don't like to accept or express, that there is fear. Like Jeff, there are situations that I think a lot of people deal with in their youth, and then it transfers over and you live with a fear. You're like, I'm kind of nervous about that. But the second you allow yourself to senior year of college or whenever in your life to kind of let loose and be like, I'm going to become vulnerable and I'm going to open myself up and try something new.
But there's nothing wrong with living in fear. When you think about it.
Right. Not always, because I think.
Is fear in charge? Yes. But long answer would be no. I'm reading this. If fear is, it says, short answer is yes, if fear is in charge. I said, is it wrong to live with fear? It said, short answer, yes, if fear is in charge. The long answer, no, if fear is information.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. That's a good line. I agree with that because my rebuttal was going to be like, people live in fear, like if you go in a dangerous neighborhood, like people don't go willingly into dangerous neighborhoods if they don't necessarily have to or different circumstances like that. So
do you become like if you show that you're afraid or you have a lot of fear, you become vulnerable. You know what I mean? You have to. I mean, I don't want anybody to, but still, you have to have confidence in yourself. And once you show that you're afraid of something or you have some fear, then you become vulnerable to whoever, whatever, wherever, however, But fear isn't wrong. Letting it decide is. That's what I say.
Yeah. So. And like what Jeff said, again, fear can help motivate you. So I definitely agree with that fear can help make you want to be better.
And it's funny that he said that because I do have here, fear is in control. It narrows your choices, keeps you stuck in safe but unfulfilled places trades long-term meaning for short-term
What do you
comfort.
think control like
Go, girl, go.
Yes, I have a good question.
I know.
Hang on.
Wait a minute, here.
I'm trying to think how to phrase it. It's
the crickets. Go ahead.
What do you think creates fear? Do you think it's like a nature nurture situation? I'm going to go that route. Do you think it's like a nature nurture?
Creating fear would be just not having confidence in yourself. I think that creates a lot of fear. Right?
Do you think that's nature or nurture though?
That might be nature.
Not being confident is nature.
What do you think?
I think it's nurture.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue. Not going to argue, but no, I understand that. Okay.
Because if you're taught, I don't think we all know danger innately. Like we don't, I don't know, because that's a tough one. I kind of stumped myself because I do think that there are situations where we just have that gut feeling like we know, like, don't do that, you know? Like, there are situations in that, but there are also situations where it's not that situation.
Yeah.
That circumstance.
Fear makes you a better person. Did you think that? Yeah.
It can, but it can also make you not a good person. If you're fearful of other people and other understandings. And I think that's, we kind of live in that state right now, you know, where people are making judgments about other people.
Well, more now than ever.
And I think it's based
it's not right.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But it's what's happening.
It's
what
happening.
We're doing. So I think it's important to recognize that that's what's happening. That's the first step, recognition. And then trying to change that, you know, kind of realizing like, I'm not a big fan of this, and I can't control those people and what they're doing, but I can control what I do. And I know that negativity is contagious, but so is positivity. So if anybody's going to start the positive,
you know,
I'm going to start with me.
Yeah. So we started out with wisdom, and it rolls into fear. But social media must play a big part nowadays. That's got to be like a big part of fear and also wisdom when you think about it, because of what's being said. You brought up the fact, you know, people are not talking very nice about other people right now. You know, whether or not they don't even know half of these people or any of them.
And and I think that social media allows people to be anonymous in what they say sometimes, so they feel like they can get away with saying things. But I don't agree with that. I think that people don't realize that social media is just as public as walking in a grocery store. Everything is out there. Everything is kept track of. Everything. It's very interesting to me, some things that people share or comment on social media, because they might think, oh, I'm just directly texting this, commenting on this person's post, and they don't realize like the much deeper deal that's going on.
It's crazy. Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Very, very interesting.
It is.
And
I
would love to ask like how, you know, I grew, kind of talking about our age and how we grew up, like social media really wasn't a thing.
Well, it definitely wasn't for me.
So you like the accessibility.
But you've grown up with it.
Yeah. So like I've had it for a long, like,
I mean, practically all your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
20 years ago,
so
I mean.
That accessibility and the seeing things and the comparison and the commenting and stuff like that has always been very, very prevalent for me. So it kind of shapes my view differently than yours. So I wonder how, do you, like, social media for me, like, you can go on my Facebook. I barely post anything besides work related. Like I am nervous what I say. I'm nervous. Like I'm nervous about other people critiquing it. Not always, but like, do you know what?
Well,
like it's just I just
you got to know your borders. You got to know how far you can go. Probably more so with me though, because doing what I do for a living, do I want to go and alienate or make my audience really divided? That's the last thing I ever want to do. And I will never, ever, I can tell you this, when it comes to social media, I will never, ever attack somebody online. That's the last thing I want to do. I may be entitled to my opinions, but I keep them to myself. And doesn't mean I'm not going to like you. Your opinion is your opinion. You can say what
Right.
you want, but me as an on-air person, we are not talk radio. We are not news. I'm not one of those shock type jocks. I don't do that. I'm there
Yeah.
to entertain. I mean, I did say something today, and I kept it pretty much, hey, this is what's going on. I was talking about the airport situation with the Palm Beach International Airport, and they're changing the name. Well, it hasn't been done yet. It's got to still go through the Senate, but we know how that goes. But I don't mean to go, it's a podcast and it's my own podcast. But seriously, it's just, but I just talk about those things. And when I do mention something like that, I do not go like the political route. I just say, this is what's happening. Boom, and move on.
Yeah.
Because I think people want to know, good or bad. They still want to know, but, it's all crazy.
And politics is one of those touchy things where people become very defensive, and we think that we're much more polarized than we actually are. So people's mental is like, oh, we're divided and we have to think differently. When the reality of it is like the statistic, we're not that polarized, we're not that different. But the people that are different on those are the ones that are.
So what do you think? Let me ask you. Jeff says, wow, this interview is deep. Dr. Phil, look out.
Skip's coming for your job.
I don't know. I'm the last one to be talking like this. I'm a guy that sits here in the pod zone and I talk to all the artists and the stars and this and that. And then we do we kind of go down a different road when you're over here. And this is what I want to do is, go deep and talk about life because we have two different perspectives. And with that being said, as we shift gears here just a little bit, is in your words, how do you think we are different?
All right, guys. So first off, I'm not going to say anything. I just want everybody to get a good look.
I'm going to go grab a glass of wine.
I'll
be back.
How we're different. I don't know, because you and I think physically are very different, but personally, like we're both driven for the same thing. We don't agree on everything. On everything,
but that goes
that's
back
okay.
to what we said
That's
before.
fine.
Like
Yeah.
I had said
Yeah.
something, but then you realized it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that
Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, we just sometimes think differently, but you and I definitely.
She doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
He's my boss. I gotta be good.
Yeah, yeah, I
No,
gotta be
I'm
good.
just kidding.
What do you think the biggest difference is?
I think, well, of course, the age, but I think it's we have different opinions on the music.
Yes, that
Big
too,
time.
big time.
But it's obvious because even though I know a lot of people, your age and that like music, but they also like a lot of the stuff I like.
Mm-hmm.
But you're different that way, and that's to be respected. That's what you listen to. That's what you enjoy.
That's absolutely correct. Our listener habits are very
completely different.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah. Yes.
And I mean night and day. But I think we have the same goal in mind. I think, when it comes to what we do for a living, and you're new on board. I mean, you've been there a few months now. You're kicking ass. You're making it work. I think we have this. You're welcome. I think, but I'm speaking the truth. We have the same dream and the same passion and the same dedication, but maybe in a different way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because you have your way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. And for a guy my age, I think I'm a little different than most people my age.
Traditional, right.
Number one, I'm not in a nursing home yet.
Oh, my God.
And
You're
but no, I mean, what do I do at work? I'm not doing things the old-fashioned way. I'm not using paper. I'm not doing any of that. I think most people that would be doing or do what I do. This is what's different between us. Mm-hmm. Because today, was it today or yesterday? You had all these prize sheets, right? Mm-hmm. Had them all printed out and everything. I'm like, what are you doing that for? We just got the computer. We'll put them in, I'll make an Excel file. We'll put our winners in there. But that's okay. But see, that's the difference. You want a paper trail.
I love a paper trail. And I don't know where that stems from, but
that's okay.
I love a paper trail.
But see, I'm looking at it where my job can be so much easier. I just have the computers in front of me. And when I take a winner or whatever, I can just type in their name, their email address, their phone number, blah, 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 blah.
So true.
You know what? Mm-hmm. And I do it in a matter of no time. So, no time. But no, I mean, it's like our lives are turned around. I don't know if if you're watching this, if you have that, maybe your partner or work partner.
I haven't gained enough wisdom yet, and I'm being stubborn.
Because you have some fear.
Because I have some fear, and I have fear of technology.
You
and
do.
I do. I hate accepting that and saying that, but I think that there's magic in human creativity. Like I genuinely
don't deny that.
I think that seeing an individual through and through, like it's amazing. Whether in any art spectrum, you know what I mean? Like whether you're a singer, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a painter, whether you're anything like that, I think that it's amazing.
I'm doing some homework here. Keep talking.
You typing distracted me.
I know. This is going to be funny.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, because I want to see what the computer says about the difference in age.
Between us.
Okay.
But yes, I definitely still tend to be more traditional with the way that I do things. I love writing on paper. I love doing stuff like that.
We'll have to do this next week because I think we're almost out of time here for tonight, but I don't want to go off too much. But, I said, tell me the differences between you being your age and me being my age. Mm-hmm. And it said relationship to time. Just a little bit here. 21-year-old. Time feels infinite.
Yes.
Deadlines feel urgent. Consequences feel distant. Right? Mm-hmm. Later feels guaranteed. Now, in my situation, time feels infinite. No, it's not infinite. Finite. Yeah. Yeah, mm-hmm. Finite. Okay. Urgency is about meaning, not speed.
Okay.
Let's get her done.
Okay.
Okay. And later is no longer assured. Wow.
What are your fears today?
And it says wisdom shift from wasting time without noticing to protecting it deliberately. What's that now? Sorry.
What are your fears today?
My fears?
Yeah. What are you afraid of?
I don't know. I want like on a personal level. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of. I feel great and all that, but I know that. I see a lot of people I went to school with that are no longer with us, or you read about them online because I don't get the paper. But it's like, oh my God, I went to school with that person. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, what happened? Oh, that kind of makes me nervous, even though I feel great. I've taken good care of myself now, more than I ever have. And I'm afraid of not being there for my son if he needs me down the road. That's what I do think about. Mm-hmm. My son being, Zach, Down syndrome, 25 now, but still, that's like my biggest fear. I'm not afraid of what's going to happen at work. I'm not saying anything's happening. It's just it's more of a personal thing. Yeah. On that whole other side, I'm fine. I have look at my room.
Yeah. That's very interesting because I think that a lot of my fears are professionally motivated.
It's the age.
And I think that age plays into that because I'm scared that I'm not going to make it and I'm not going to succeed and I'm not it feels like I've worked so hard even though I'm just starting, but it's like.
That's not a bad fear.
It's.
Because it's going to motivate you.
Absolutely. Just like Jeff said earlier.
100%.
That fear is going to motivate me.
Yeah, it's going to motivate her. I love my toys. What can I say? All right, stop. There. We're all good. So anyways, so we got wisdom, fear, and we talked a little bit about, the difference between us. And I think next Wednesday, we do this every Wednesday. So make sure you save it. Do what you got to do. Make sure you subscribe to Skip Happens. And we will get into it next week a little bit about the difference between us a little bit more. And if you've got a great topic, I mean, let us know as well.
Yeah. Start brainstorming those questions.
Yeah, you can go to skiphappenspodcast.com and just fill out the form. Plus, if you want to come on, we can chat.
That's what I was just going to say. Don't you have a form on there where people can join us?
I do. Not that they
Speaking
fill it out.
Of joining us, we were going to have a little visitor today.
Oh, what? Oh, wait, Abilene.
We were going to have Abilene join us. And do you know what?
She has fear.
She let fear overcome her.
Exactly.
Which is fine.
Tell everybody who Abilene is.
Abilene, okay, I'm going to give her some credit. She's 11 years old, and she's my little sister. And in the spur of the moment, I called her, and I was like, Abby, do you wanna come on the podcast? And she's like, no. And I was like, are you sure you do so great? You do amazing. And she was like, no. And I was
behind
like, okay.
that, no. Was a yes. You know that.
Was a yes.
She really wanted to do it.
So immediately I was so proud of her for I don't know. I'm just proud of her because I think that it takes a lot of guts to do this.
But she looks up to you and she can see what you're doing. So I don't know why she wouldn't. Down the road.
So it was was so cool. Yeah. But yes, I'm excited to see how she evolves. Cause she's like a sponge, right? You know, she's 11.
Taking it all
she's
in,
taking
baby.
It all
taking it all in.
Shifting perspective from
my brain
kid
is so
to
full,
teen,
things bounce off now. It's just
yes.
Yeah. Except when you come in and we have the deep conversations.
Pickleball.
So it is like pickleball, pickle brain.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way it works. But Miss Rea, thanks for coming in tonight. Hanging out in the podcast zone, baby, the pod zone. Of course, each and every Wednesday, subscribe. Next week, we're going to go deep as well. We're going to talk about the difference between us, as I mentioned, and you got something you want to bring up, just let us know. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. This is Skip Happens.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Let me get a little...